Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday afternoon. Hope yours is going well. And it is time. It is time to go into the main event. What you've all been waiting for all week. Yes, it is finally time to dive into some thoughts going into tomorrow afternoon's game, where our Seattle Seahawks will be hosting the Dallas Cowboys. So, what can we say about this game going in? Less than 23 hours before kickoff here in Seattle. What can we say? Well, it was a scary week for Seahawks fans, I think, and I think a lot of Seahawks fans out there kind of know what I'm talking about. The injury report that hit on Wednesday was frightening to a lot of people, and I am no exception. About a third of the team showed up on the injury report, including most of the defense. So this was kind of a tough week to get through. A lot of people were concerned, who were we going to have? Why were these guys all showing up on the injury report? What's going on? However, at the end of the day, it is likely that we will only be missing Nico Thorpe from the players that we didn't have last week. Cedric Ogbuehi, Cedric O may very well be out as well, and Rasheem Green is going to be out for at least 3 weeks, but we didn't have those guys last week anyway, so that's not unexpected. The Rasheem Green news is a big bummer, especially for me, who was expecting some pretty good things from him this year, but not really surprising to me with what I heard coming out of Pete Carroll the last couple weeks. So after all that stress of seeing Griffin, Dunbar, Reed, Mayoa, Dwayne Brown, all these guys show up on the injury report, it seems like we're only going to be missing a special teamer from players we didn't have last week. Now, why is so much of this team already dinged up? Is it just bad luck? Is it the strength and conditioning coach not getting these guys in the right shape to play and them going out there and taking these minor injuries that don't keep them out but keep them from performing at a high level? Because I've talked about our strength and conditioning coach not really looking all that good if you take a look at what he's done in his career. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's just the number of snaps, because most of the injuries I saw were concentrated on the defense. Basically, the whole defense showed up on the injury report this week. I think it's because they're on the field too much. Guys like Jaron Reed, Brenson Mayoa, and now the so long Bruce Irvin. Those guys were on the field too much. So I feel like that's a big part of it, and it's why I really, even though I don't think he's going to make this defense any better than it is, we need to bring in guys like Damon Harrison or Marcel Darius or just about anybody, just so we can ease the load on some of these players. But this week, help is going to come in the form of Alton Robinson, who will be active, I'm sure. Shaquem Griffin got the call up from the practice squad, so we know he's going to play some. And hopefully that's going to be enough to at least give these guys a solid rotation. And at the end of the day, after all that injury concern, we are no more injured than the Cowboys going into this game. And we're definitely going to talk about this, because I'm sure the Cowboys are thinking, how are they going to exploit our injuries? We got to exploit these, because the Cowboys are now down their two best cornerbacks in Cheeto Awuzie and Anthony Brown. And their best cornerback remaining, Trevon Diggs, is a rookie and is also battling a shoulder injury. I'm sure he's going to play. I don't get the sense that he might be held out, but I don't get the sense that he's 100%. So Metcalf, Lockett, whoever finds themselves matched up against the rookie, little bit of a phenom. I'm not going to call him a phenom, but he's played really well so far. Be ready to eat. Demarcus Lawrence, their star defensive end, star in quotes, because he hasn't done anything in like the last 18 games he's played, also questionable. And Tyron Smith is questionable. And I really get the sense that Tyron Smith is either not going to play or is clearly not at a place where he can play very effectively. So that Cowboys team, which already has a pretty lackluster defense, has some real problems on that defense, and their offensive line, which is already not very good through 2 games, is even in worse shape than they were before, quite possibly. So, talking about this game, let's get into the game. The Cowboys on defense, the only thing the Cowboys have on this defense right now that stands out to me in any way is Aldon Smith and Everson Griffin in the pass rush. Those two guys have 4 pressures through 2 games each. They're getting to the QB. Aldon Smith had a monster game against the Rams. He had a sack. Everson Griffin played well against the Falcons. He had a sack. And those are the only 2 sacks the Cowboys have had all season. So they actually have fewer sacks than we do. The whole rest of their defensive line underwhelms me like crazy. The whole rest of their defense as a whole underwhelms me like crazy. So we may need to help Shell in pass protection because he's going to have his hands full with a pretty good pass rusher, either Smith or Griffin. We may need to help Shell because he's struggled so far. But other than that, everything we do on offense should work. There is no excuse for everything we do on offense to not work. They are down to their 3rd and 4th string cornerbacks starting, and their 3rd cornerback is playing at less than 100%. So to the receivers on this team who are killing it so far this year, every last one of them, Lockett, Metcalf, Moore, even Freddie Swain, go out there and eat tomorrow against this Dallas secondary that is really weak at corner and not particularly good at safety either. And when we run the ball, just pound that interior. This Dallas interior is down their best defensive tackle in Gerald McCoy. He's on IR. Well, he's not even on the team now. And they're down Sean Lee and Leighton Vander Esch, 2 starting linebackers. Their only good middle linebacker left is Jalen Smith, and honestly, he often does not impress me. So, quite simply, when we have the ball, everything we do should work. Running the ball, passing the ball, and I do want us to exploit the interior of the Dallas defense because I do believe it is very weak. But at the same time, and I'm going to keep saying this, do not get away from what works, especially against this secondary. There's no reason why Wilson shouldn't be able to absolutely go off. There is no rain on the forecast tomorrow. It should not be wet. The conditions should be completely neutral and completely fine. That should play to our advantage. If Wilson needs to throw for 500 yards tomorrow, he really should be able to do it against this defense the way it is playing. Now, granted, Carson and Hyde both should be able to do work when they need to. We do need to run the ball well, but don't forget what gets us there. Don't forget what the best thing on this team is right now, and right now it is Wilson airing the ball out. And I'm going to keep saying that every week, no matter what the matchup is. I said it against the Patriots. It came true. I'm going to say it this week too. Now, that's basically all you can say about this offense. I think we're going to put up monster points. We will probably need to put up monster points. I'm not going to pretend that this is the week where the Seahawks defense gets right, because quite frankly, the Dallas offense is very good. If you want an idea of how good they are, they scored 40 on Atlanta despite losing 3 fumbles and failing on 2 fake punts. They tricked off 5 possessions in that game. 3 fumbles, 2 failed fake punts, and they still threw up 40 points. They have tremendous receivers. Them and Atlanta may very well have the best receiver cores in the game right now. They have I think, a very good quarterback. I'm a believer in Dak. I know a lot of people aren't, but I think Dak is a very good quarterback. They have a great running back. They can do a lot of things really well on that offense, and for a defense that has struggled mightily through 2 games, especially through the air, if the Cowboys need to throw the ball for 500 yards, they may very well do it too. This could be the battle of the QBs on par with I remember reading about the Johnny Unitas and Joe Namath game where both QBs threw for over 500 yards. This could be another one of those very, very easily. Take the over, people. The over cannot be high enough in a game like this. So, right away, I can tell you the defense is not going to suddenly fix all their problems in 1 week. The defense is not going to be able to battle maybe the best offense they play for the whole rest of the season and do anything over the top good. I'm not expecting that. And as fans, we need to prepare for the possibility of giving up 40 points of our own. However, that offensive line in Dallas looks like a real weak spot, and I already kind of alluded to that in my injury report earlier in the video, but Terrence Steele is an undrafted rookie free agent starting at right tackle. I don't think he's ready for this. We don't have Rasheem Green. We don't have Darrell Taylor. We don't have some of the guys we thought we would have, but whoever's out there should be able to win some of their battles against Terrence Steele. He's not ready for the NFL yet. He's thrown out there because they have no choice. No Lyle Collins, no Cameron Fleming. So you definitely have to try to win some of the battles there. And then you have at the other side of the offensive line, you have either Tyron Smith, who is not 100%, well below 100% in my estimation, or you have Brandon Knight, the backup. Either way, there should be an opportunity to make some plays there. And for a defensive line that really struggled to make big plays in big moments against the Patriots, this is an opportunity to at least build a little bit of confidence in the fan base that those guys can do something. Because right now, my confidence level in this defensive line is very, very low. After what I saw after Bruce Irvin got hurt against the Patriots, I just didn't see anything from those guys really. So this is an opportunity for those guys to at least make a few plays to make us feel like, hey, these guys are developing. They're going to turn into something by the end of the year. We might really have something with a couple of these guys. So really, the only Dallas offensive lineman who is playing well through the first two games, and the only one with a reputation of playing well, is Zach Martin. Looney is their new starting center because Travis Frederick retired in the offseason, and he was Travis Frederick's backup, and he more or less looks like a backup. He's not particularly good. And I think their other offensive lineman is Connor Williams. Nothing special there, really. So the opportunity to get some pressure on Dak and win some of our battles on the defensive line is there. We just have to go do it because a lot of the other things in this game are going to be really hard. And the main advantage that we have in this game is we have a few playmakers on defense, and through 2 weeks, they have been making crucial plays. Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams. Those two guys are all pros. Those two guys are Hall of Fame level talents. The Cowboys don't really have anybody like that on their defense right now. They don't have guys who you can rely on to come up big on the most important plays of the game, like we've seen Adams do, like we've seen Wagner do. To a certain extent, we've seen a couple other players do that as well. You know, Mayo has had a couple big plays in crucial situations. I would throw LJ Collier there as well, but we have two supremely talented players on this defense. Cowboys don't. Now, it's not really making our defense play well, but if those guys, and I would throw even a couple other guys in there as well, like Quentin Dunbar, because he's gotten his hand on 3 balls through 2 games, should have picked off all 3, and he does have the 1 pick. We have the opportunity to make some plays that can flip this game, that can give us a 2 or 3 score lead late in the game, and make us feel pretty good and make us have a clear advantage by the end. If those guys cannot make plays, then the most likely scenario in this game is that we're going to trade touchdowns, trade points, and whoever has the ball last wins. It could very easily be one of those games. So I have full faith in this offense to do whatever they need to do to be in this game. Defense, make some plays, get the ball out of their hands, because stopping them on 3 downs time after time again is it's not going to be an easy proposition at all. I'm not counting on it. The only thing I'm counting on in this game from the defense is give me a few big plays, big negative plays or turnovers, and we can get ahead of the game and be ahead by maybe 3 scores in the 4th quarter, because that's the only way we're going to feel even remotely comfortable. No lead in the NFL right now is safe, especially not with these two teams. So I feel pretty good about this game. I know this was a game I said that we were going to lose in the preseason, or well, before the season started, as it were. I still think we can lose. I think this is very possible. This is going to be a game where the team that has the ball last wins, and that's just kind of almost luck of the draw. But the Cowboys are not quite who I thought they were going to be. Their defense is worse than I thought they were going to be. Their offense, because of their offensive line, is not the well-oiled machine I was expecting. And I'm prepared for a lot of different things to happen on Sunday, but I feel pretty good about this game. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be a layup, but I think we can go out there, make a couple plays on defense, and just rack it up on offense. If we fail to do that, if I don't like the play calling this week, then that's going to definitely sour me on where I feel about this coaching staff. But after 2 games, I have to be pretty confident in the way this team is calling the game. I have to be pretty confident in the way this team is playing. And let me just say, thank God we are not playing the Cowboys at 0-2. An 0-2 Cowboys team would probably be desperate to get a win, and they would just come out ready to rip somebody's head off in order to get this win. And they would probably get a lot of calls because we know the NFL doesn't want an 0-3 Cowboys team. So thank God they're 1-1 at least. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Go Seahawks. Peace out. It's going to be fun tomorrow. Should be a lot of points. I'm looking forward to seeing what this offense can do against such a depleted defense. And every week is an opportunity for this defense to do something to show us they are at least progressing to a better place. Peace.